And our fourth main topic today gets submitted to us by Moonfallen. And Moonfallen writes, "Hey John, love all the work you do. Thank you so much, Moonfallen. There has been recent reports that Tom Cruise has joined the MCU for an upcoming project. They've theorized he will be playing Superior Iron Man, a villainous version of Stark from another reality, in Doctor Strange 2. Unlike any other casting news, the news that Tom Cruise is cast makes us assume that he mostly will be playing Tony Stark or his variant. What role do you think he could be playing?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, look, ever since, the title of Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. See, I just said I wouldn't do Randy Macho Man Savage anymore. I apologize. I'm sorry. It's an unacceptable behavior on my part. Anyway, ever since we found out that the name of Doctor Strange 2 would be Multiverse of Madness, the theories out there have gone completely wild. Like completely wild. A couple of the predominant ones have been that Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool is going to be in there. You guys remember, I told you months ago, I 100% can tell you for fact that Ryan Reynolds is not in this movie. All right? I don't care who elsewhere says whatever. I can 100% tell you with absolute fact certainty that Ryan Reynolds is not in this movie. I've been told that by a very reliable source. And so take that to the bank. Ryan Reynolds is not in this. Whatever you see anywhere, just you don't have to pay any attention to it. One of the other ones, though, is that Tom Cruise was going to appear in the movie as a variant or another universe's version of Iron Man. Now, this comes from the fact, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but this whole rumor takes its basis from the fact that one of the guys they were looking at to play Iron Man before they got Robert Downey Jr. was indeed Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was in the running to play this role. And ultimately why that didn't work out, who knows? But that's a pretty well-known Hollywood story now that Tom Cruise was going to play Iron Man. I think it would have been a very interesting Iron Man. So there's been this rumor going around that he would appear in it. Let me just say right now, I have no idea if Tom Cruise is appearing as Iron Man or not in this movie. I have no idea. I will tell you why I don't quite believe it, but I still understand it's quite a possibility. Here's why I don't quite believe it. The people in our tiny circles, we forget that our circles are indeed tiny. Those of us who do shows like the John Campea Show and watch shows like the John Campea Show, we kind of forget, and I include myself in this, that we actually represent a very small percentage of the overall movie-going audience, right? We are actually a pretty small percentage. And just because some of us in our circles know that Tom Cruise was going to play Iron Man at one point, the vast majority of the movie-going public has never heard that story. And so Tom Cruise would probably pop up in this movie and go, why is Tom Cruise suddenly Iron Man? Right? I mean, again, I am not saying he's not in the movie. Let's be very clear about that. I'm not saying he's not in the movie. But we saw a lot of stories going around that Tom Cruise is going to be in it. Well, now there are contrary reports coming out that he is indeed not in the movie. Now there are confirmations, so-called confirmations coming out that he is in fact not in the movie. This comes to us from the folks. Oh, that's the one. This comes to us from the folks over at CBR who write the following. Responding to a fan asking how many minutes of screen time Cruise's Iron Man will have in the film, Walsh posted a gif of the United States President Bill Clinton saying 0. This may come as disappointing news for those who are hoping that the character will appear. Superior Iron Man is a version of Tony Stark that embraces his worst impulses and becomes a darker version of himself, a story that is told in writer Tom Taylor's limited Superior Iron Man series. So look, at the end of the day, what are we actually left with here? Well, what we're actually left with is the fact that no truly reliable source has come out to tell us anything one way or the other. Like Hollywood Reporter, Variety, The Wrap, Entertainment Weekly, even more the second tier great sites like Joe Blow or Coming Soon or whatever. none of the more reliable sites have ever posted any definitive report that says Tom Cruise is or that Tom Cruise is not in this movie. So where does that leave me? Well, me as an individual fan, it leaves me in a place where I'm like, okay, I don't think Tom Cruise is going to be in it. All right, I'll just throw that out there. But I'm very careful of how I word that. I don't think he's going to be in it. Like, if I'm sitting in the movie theater and all of a sudden the Illuminati's up there and the camera pans around and there's Tom Cruise as an Iron Man figure sitting in one of the chairs, I'm not going to die of shock. I won't die of shock. But maybe I'd be a bit surprised. So at this point, I'm going to say I don't think he's going to be in there, but one never knows. Question is for you guys. What do you think about all these conflicting reports about Tom Cruise as superior Iron Man? Do you think Tom Cruise is going to pop up in this movie? If so, why? Do you think he won't? If so, why not? Whatever your guys' thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by ninjas so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass. And as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea.